my latest and potentially greatest LEGO Star Wars MOC. In previous MOC videos on the channel, I aim to show that small MOCs can be just as good as large ones, and I think I presented that pretty well with my Clone Patrol mini MOC series. However, you know what? I think I can do large MOCs just as well as I can do small ones. So I am very, very pleased to present to you the ATM-H, which stands for All-Terrain Mobile Hub MOC. In my opinion, this right here is probably my best ever MOC. I am so incredibly pleased with this. It turned out really, really well. I had a vision of what I thought it would be, and you know what? I just think it's absolutely amazing. Now, obviously, the vehicle here is the main thing, and I'm going to show you that separately. However, I did create a small battle scene, and you can see like a lava planet. Got lots of lava and some nice rocks. I use these grill pieces here just to add to the whole feel of the Clone Wars, because obviously that's when it's set. So I just thought that would work very, very well with the vehicle. So you can see right here we have a couple of commando droids, and you can imagine that they've infiltrated the clones area and are trying to take this here and obviously the area. So this ARC Trooper is getting in a bit of a skirmish with these two, and that is pretty much the base. A pretty simple design for the outer bit, but you know what? This is the main part of the MOC. So let's get into showing you the ATM-H. Now right here you can see that we do have the ATM-H here and obviously the base, but as it is a portable vehicle, you can take that off and remove the base completely to reveal the ATM-H in all its glory, and I am so, so pleased with this. So let's get into all the details that I've crammed in here. I'm really, really proud of this. So I think to start off, we'll just start talking about the exterior, and the way this moves is obviously it has these wheels on, and I'll show you how the wheels are connected a bit later on, but obviously they can roll around, and it makes this very, very fun if you want to play with it, or if you just want to keep it in a good condition or just stand it up. It works very, very well. Now you can see here I have tiled this off so it looks very, very armoured and quite professional. We have the logo of the Republic insignia there, and a couple of windows there. I've tiled off the whole thing and tried to use some grey and red colours just to add to the Republic colour scheme. Turning it around, I've continued with the theme of tiles and turned it around so you can see it has quite a distinctive shape, and if you stay to the end I'll have a pretty fun reveal. If you haven't already worked it out, there is a pretty fun reveal coming, so make sure you stay watching. And here we just got the same design as we have on the other side, and there. So that is just the size of the MOC. Let's get into the top. One thing I did forget to mention is that I have used lots of different layers just to give it a bit more of a distinctive shape. But anyway, with the top, I have continued with the whole theme of tiling, and also I've included a couple of stud shooters right here. So I think they actually do work very well. I know people say that stud shooters don't work, but I have a stud shooter in every corner, and you know what? I think it works very, very well. It just shows that it has got some weapons. They're very nicely tiled off, and I think they look very cool. Aside from that, it's pretty tiled off very nicely, and yeah, so let's get into the interior. But just before we do that, I think it's helpful for me to give a little bit of context on what sort of thing this is and how I came up with it, so what sort of role the ATM-H would have had in the Clone Wars. So ATM-H stands for All-Terrain Mobile Hub, and basically the idea for this came from an idea where basically this transport is travelling across the battlefield, so it is on the battlefield and it is going to refuel the clones. So the clones can get on, grab new supplies and guns and whatever they need and travel straight across. So this is quite fast moving, goes across any terrain, and is an on the battlefield transport. Also, you might be wondering, hang on, shouldn't there really be a roof on top of this to protect it or things? So basically it is a bit of a cross between a speeder and a tank, and I decided not to go with a roof for this one just because for ease of accessibility. And you can imagine that right here it is being remote controlled by a shield, so it has a shield around it, but it's not meant to be a massive tank. It's meant to be a very quick transport, gets the clones around the battlefield, refuels them, and sends them back to the army. Without further ado, let's get into the interior. The first thing that I think is worth mentioning is that there are two entrances to the ATM-H, and here is one of them. So you can see it is a ramp that just opens up very, very nicely. You can imagine it's like armoured out here, and it's very nicely tiled off, and you can see right here we have a very cool 501st Jet Trooper ready to go back into the army, so you can put that back, and I'll just show you the other one. So a very, very similar design, a bit more rigid on this side, but I just thought to add a bit more of variety, and there we have it. So two very basic entrances and exits, but they work very well. If you haven't already worked it out, there is a big reveal coming, so make sure you stay watching. So right here we have in the middle just 6 seats there for your clones to sit. Now obviously I haven't filled all the seats just because I wanted to show the seats themselves, but you can imagine imagine that they're all sitting there, all getting ready to be transported, and we just have this 501st Trooper and a couple of others. So I tried to include a pretty good variety of clones, and this seating area works quite nicely, and you can see here we have some very cool grill pieces just to make it look a bit more professional. Over here we have this rectangular design which works very nicely in that corner, and here we have this ARF Trooper. Now he was aiming that way just so that he could aim into the skirmish, so his gun was going straight over into those commando droids, but I've taken the base away and the skirmish is no longer, so let's get rid of him so we can see these details. So we do have a ladder here, so if they want to go over and have a surprise attack, they could do that, or they could just use the ladder for in the battle. And over here we have a storage box with some new ammunition and some controls in the corner, so pretty nice design there. In the opposite corner here you can see that we do have a bit of a control center with the Republic insignia on the wall and a couple of controls, so I think they look very, very cool and definitely add to the feel of the Republic era. Let's move into the rest of the interior. In this corner here we can see that we do have the main control center of the ATM-H, and this looks awesome. I'm very, very pleased with how this turned out. So we have a swivelly chair, and this clone gunner here is just being my controller, and we have a couple of controls on the walls. We also do have some stands for blasters and a barrel full of pistols in there, so very, very good for filling up some ammunition and nice controls on the walls. In the fourth corner here, behind this 501st Trooper, we have a full crate of stud shooters. Now I know people say, oh, we hate stud shooters, but you know, I think they fit the crate very well, and I had some pistols over there, so a whole box of stud shooters there, so that was very, very good. Before I do a pretty mind-blowing reveal for those of you who haven't already worked this out, I just thought I'd show you the bottom of the MOC here. Now this took ages to put together. There's so much detail here. It's all been panelled out and tried to get the shaping just right, and I think it looks really cool. The wheels are definitely technicked in, so it all works very, very well, and the bottom is just as vital as the top actually, because it's keeping everything all together. Here it is. This is time for the reveal. Now you've probably already worked this out, but if you haven't, you'll find it pretty mind-blowing. So the name of this MOC is the ATM-H, which stands for the All-Terrain Mobile Hub. What letter does hub start with? H. There we have it. Just like so many other ships in Star Wars, I designed this to be a bit like the X-Wings, A-Wings, V-Wings, name any of the wings, and it's all kind of based on the shaping. I gave it the H format, and I think it looks so cool. It definitely works with the name, and the shaping works so well for this MOC. Thank you very much for watching this LEGO Star Wars MOC video. I am really, really pleased with how this ATM-H MOC turned out. I think it looks so good, and it was very original, and that's pretty much what I wanted to achieve. I went into this MOC project trying to make something very original on a large scale, and I think I did that. So make sure you let me know what you think of this MOC in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day. Goodbye.